All right, I am here with Bill Nguyen, who is founder of Lala, which just announced that they're partnering with Google, and so is MySpace and Grace Note 90 and Pandora and Rhapsody.
A plethora of music stuff.
Lots of cool stuff going on today. So my first question is, how huge a spike is your traffic going to see tonight when this goes live?
I mean, it's...
Can we get a graph of that? Is it just going to be like...
We actually, right now at Lala, there's actually a ticker roll showing the traffic bump, which is actually pretty awesome.
It's going to be like 100 times what you've ever seen. That's my guess.
I mean, today is especially nuts because Facebook went fully live today.
Right.
So we're getting crushed. And so I think we're going to go from our 15 million to about 60 million uniques today.
Overnight?
Overnight. So it's a good day.
Do you have any initial stats on the Facebook stuff? I've already given a few gifts to my friends. They're mostly joke things, like Raffi.
Well, you know, what's funny is, like, I'll give you an example, like, just crazy stuff. So this guy today gave his wife his wedding song. And she's like, breaks down because it's so cool, right? And of course, I'm not that sentimental, but it's just amazing that what's going on right now with music is what Facebook and Google are doing is they're giving context to this stuff. So now it's like I'm giving my friend a song, that's the context, because it's from me, and because I'm searching for it, I wanted it. So this whole concept of random music and blah, 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 we think people know it. They're learning more and more what they want. They want to discover music from each other. We're just going to make it crazy simple to do.
So what are you going to do? I feel like everyone's seen MySpace before. They sort of know what they're doing. With Lala, I feel like a lot of people are going to see it for the first time.
Yeah.
And they go, what is this? How are you guys going to convert these people who are popping up the Lala widget and they're like, oh, I can listen to the full song. That's neat.
Yeah.
How are you going to get them to go on the site and do all this web song stuff, which is kind of confusing the first time you hear about it?
I mean, the really simple way, like, we're just web-based iTunes. And what that means by that is, but there's three big differences. Number one, we want you to discover new music. And what's great about discovering new music on our site is that, look, you can try it before you buy it. And when you buy it, you can actually buy it for a tenth of the price that you buy an MP3. And if you like it, you can eventually play it on an iPhone app, or if you want the MP3 for whatever reason, knock yourself out and buy it, or even the plastic if you love atoms. But our point is that it's just like iTunes. You can discover much more music. And what our site has done, it's about following other friends and other sources like Pitchfork and everywhere else. So what that means is that every time they listen to music that you've never heard of, you end up being able to benefit from it. You can discover it.
So how are you going to tell that to users just like that, right as they start streaming the song? I feel like this is going to be a challenge. That
it is. It still is. I mean, it's what happens when you're a music snob. You want people to listen to new music instead of just Jay-Z, right? That's the problem. And I think, so that's why I describe it. It's like iTunes, except it's all web-based. There's no software to have to deal with, or stuff crashing, or finding files. It's a tenth of the price, which is really cool in a lot of cases. And finally, it's so social. And that always takes a little bit more time. Twitter, Facebook, they all took you a couple moments to figure it, but once you did it, it became so indispensable in your life, and that's what we think is really cool.
And how long have you guys been working on this with Google? I was actually just talking to RJ, and he said it was like over 6 months. So
it's before his kid was even born. So I mean, it's been a while. I mean, we've been working on it for a long time, but I think it's there was a lot of complexity. The labels had to really help out, which they really stepped up to, and because we didn't want a business model where Google swarms us with amazing traffic and we go out of business the next day.
Right.
So
that's not going to happen, right? Because that's what everyone's kind of wondering. It's like, well, if it costs a few pennies per song,
I know,
or rather a fraction of a penny per song, you're going to get like millions of plays per day. So that's okay.
It's not a problem. I mean, if you think the same thing, we're doing this on Facebook too, right?
Right.
It's a lot of plays.
Well, people are paying for it on Facebook.
Right.
They pay 10 cents.
They're going to be playing it here too. I mean, we're just begun. So imagine this: if you think about searching for your favorite artist. So I'm going to pitch something that I love. So if you like Edward Sharpe, S-H-A-R-P-E, and the magnetic zeros, what's cool about our site is that we're going to open up all of our functionality so the artist can decide. So when you do a Google search for artists and music, one of the things is the artist can now finally deliver straight into that play box new stuff that they have, compelling propositions and things that you want to buy instantly because you've never heard it before.
So the artist, if I type in that band name, that band gets to decide what I see in the Lala box that pops up.
Well, you get to pick the song, so you control that.
Okay.
But all the other stuff around it, all the Chrome, so to speak, Google-esque, but it's up to them. And so that was, I think, the big difference for us. It wasn't about just Lala getting a Google deal. What we're telling all these artists is, you guys have a Google deal now.
Okay.
We're going to open up our interface and everything to you guys because at the end of the day, it's your music, it's your value proposition, how to sell it. We just want people to listen to cool stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Okay.